Hello singers, thank you for watching these YouTube videos. Many of you have requested in the comments of my videos that you would like to learn how to sight read music better. In this video, I will teach you a time-tested and internationally used method of sight singing called Solfege. I will also use the Curwen Handsigns. Both of these things I will describe in detail in the next few minutes. Please stay tuned. Are you a singer who can look at a piece of music and sing it without any help from a piano or another singer? Or do you need to hear your part several times before you can sing it correctly? Having a good ear is a very good attribute, but having a good ear and being able to sight sing music without the help of another instrument or another singer is essential in becoming the best musician you can be. Music literacy allows the singer to see the notes on the page, understand what they are, how they relate to one another, and then perform them accurately without the help of an outside person or instrument. Notes can be identified in multiple ways in music. Each is important. Number one, notes can be identified through their note names. For example, A, B, C, F sharp, B flat, etc. Another way to identify notes is through labeling them by scale degrees. For example, the bottom note of a scale would be 1. The second note up would be 2. For example, if we were to sing C major on numbers, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A similar way, and the way that we will use in this video and demonstrate, is called solfege. Solfege is a series of short syllables used by music educators to help developing musicians understand how notes relate to one another and to the primary key that you are singing in. For example, Do would be related to the 1 that I just described. Re would be the second note of the scale. Mi, the third note, etc. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Why is solfege useful? Isn't learning the note names good enough? Just like learning a language, it is important to know why words appear in a given order or in a sentence. You might ask, what is a noun and why is it here in my sentence? Or why is there an adjective before or after that noun, etc. Knowing that Do is the home or the root of a specific key is like knowing where your home is and how to get back there after going for a walk. Another way to look at it, when writing a well-organized paper, you begin with an introductory paragraph where you lay out the main purpose of your paper. In the conclusion, you bring back the main points mentioned in the introduction so that the reader understands the purpose of your paper. In music, the key signature of the piece, or where Do is, helps the singer and listener have a feel for where the composer is coming from and to where he or she wants to go with the composition. Just like the introduction in a written paper, the development of that paper, and the conclusion. Many teachers use numbers instead of solfege. This is an effective way to teach sight singing. There is an advantage, in my mind, to using solfege. Let me try to describe. A very important part of singing is vowel shape. Using solfege gives the singing musician an opportunity to focus on beautiful vowel shape and eventually bringing that into the text. Additionally, and even more important, when we learn chromatic solfege, which we will do in a future lesson, the vowels change depending on whether a note is sharp or flat, thus allowing a singer to develop the ability to sing music in a much broader tonal spectrum. The Curwen Handsigns were developed by John Curwen, an early music educator. Let me give you an example here of what they look like. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. You will ask, what is the purpose of using Curwen Handsigns while I sing or learn the music? John Curwen developed these signs so that singers could have a kinesthetic way and connection to what they are singing. Just like an instrumentalist, a pianist moves their fingers up and down the keyboard, giving them a physical motion that helps them learn and hear the music. A trumpet player, for example, might push down the middle valve when he wants to play down a half step. A trombone knows exactly where to put his slide to play a certain note. These physical motions are more than just playing that note. It's a connection with the brain, a kinesthetic connection that develops muscle memory. Using these hand signs helps singers connect motion with the singing and the intervals that they're singing, intervals being the space between two notes. When I see sheet music, how do I know where do is? Sarah Ann Glover was the founder of what we call Moveable DO or Tonic Sol-fa. Moveable DO means that do is the bottom of any scale that you sing, not just C major, for example. Let me give you some examples. For example, when you're singing in the key of C major, no sharps or flats, do is C. When you're singing in the key of G major, one sharp, do is G. If you were singing in the key of F, which is one flat, F is do. Let's have some fun here. Let's sing a C major scale together. Here is do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. In this slide, you can see solfege on the bottom, the Curwen hand sign above that, the actual notation for the note, and then the letter name. Let's do the key of G now. This time, use the hand signs that appear. Do is the first note. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Many of you may know your lines and spaces, the actual notes, but if you do not, this graph will help you see where they are found in both the treble clef on this slide and the bass clef in the slide to come. Notes are found either on lines or spaces. I will show you just a small sampling of these. C is located right below the staff. D on the space hanging below. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Of course, you can go higher and lower than this staff, but these are the basics. Now, bass clef is slightly different. E is the note that falls on the line right below the staff. You will see in notation what is called a ledger line. It's a tiny line that sticks out both sides of the note. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now each of these can be learned using an acronym or other memorization techniques, but I would encourage you just to use flashcards and memorize them so that you can see them at sight. It will help you sing music and be a better musician. How do you learn your major keys? How do you know that one sharp is G major or one flat is F? Once again, there are many ways to do this, but I would encourage you to develop flashcards and memorize them. There is a convenient graph that was developed many years ago called the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths starts at the top with C major, no sharps or flats. Going clockwise, we add one sharp at a time. G major, D major, A major, E major. Now, we're not going to go on for a moment, and I will describe why later. Going counterclockwise from the top is where you add one flat at a time. F major, B flat major, E flat major, A flat major. At the bottom, each of the three keys have both sharps and flats that you will see come from the clockwise direction or the counterclockwise direction. For example, here B major is 5 sharps, but it also sounds the same as C flat major, which is 7 flats. G flat and F sharp major sound the same, even though they're read differently. Each of these is called enharmonic equivalence. Using this graph, you can determine what key your music is and where Do falls in each key. Let's try one melody together in the key of G major. When you see a new melody, first of all, you need to determine what key it's in. There's one sharp here, which is G major. Then you need to find Do, which is G. We have 2 Do's in the first measure, the first 2 notes, and then look at the last note of the piece. It is G as well. I would encourage you, while we do this example, to use your Curwen Handsigns. In the description below, you will see a handout where you can download a PDF of all of the Curwen Handsigns with solfege in the key of C major, or you can go to solfasinger.com where each key and all of the hand signs is there for you to look at and utilize. Let's sing this together. Our first note is G. Whenever you sing and come to a new key, find and sing the arpeggio. So G is Do, Do, Mi, Do, Sol, Do. That's the arpeggio. It will help solidify the key in your mind. So here we go. Put your hand up in the Do position. Do, Do, Re, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Re, Do. How did you do? I hope you did well. If you didn't, go to solfasinger.com and practice, find G major, find the clef that works best for you, and then sing on the scale, selecting different notes, then touch the scale. When you're touching it, you will hear it sing back to you, and you can practice in that way. In future videos, I will provide different melodies for you to practice with. How can you become musically literate? You must practice and work at it. If you were to do this every day, your ability to read music will increase tenfold. I have students that come into my choirs that have never read music, and by the end, using solfege, they can read music, and they are musically literate. Once again, use solfasinger.com to help you learn your different keys and movable do. Good luck. I hope that this video was useful to you.